Yeah, don't be afraid to speak out. Teach the kids their rights. Physical and sexual abuse must stop. Join me in this fight now. I want you to see suspect say among friends and families. See suspect say in the schools and communities. Children of the future, they depend on you. Report to the authorities, that's what you should do. You see the signs, do what's right, put a stop to child abuse. See, suspect, say! Among friends and families, a message from the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs? At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Call us today at 784-456-1821 or email us at metrosint@fintoserve.com.
The evolution of radio. Boom 1069.
Yeah. Different. Watch this. Where's the scene? Where you? Where's the scene? Where you are? Where's the scene? Cha. Where you are? Where's the scene? I got a little cash in the jeans. Come make a little flexing with me. With a little liquor and weed. Where you are? Where's the scene? I do happy up in the grill. I know love never been the wheel. But a little love never kill. Sit down, I said. Oh God. Breaking it down, she fought. All on the ground, she walked it up. Sit down, I said. Oh God. When I at this day show, come in there. When I don't in the middle, come in there. When I with a girl I don't know, come in there. Yo, what you mean? Yo, she don't wanna. What you mean? Yo, she don't wanna make everybody in front and she on the dicky. Yo, she don't wanna make everybody in front and she on the dicky. Sit down, I said. Oh God. Breaking it down, she fought. All on the ground, she walked it up. Sit down, I said. Oh God. Jump in and mommy so slow like a bummy. Hollywood wine, she don't want no Grammy. In and out, she a wrong one trolley. In and out, she a wrong one twat. In and out, she a wrong one trolley. In and out, she a wrong one trolley. Sit down, I said. Oh God. Breaking it down, she fought. All on the ground, she walked it up. Sit down, I said. Oh God. Where you are, where's the scene? I got a little cash in my jeans. Come make a little flexing with me. With a little liquor and weed. Where you are, where's the scene? I know I'll be up in the green. I know love me up in the green. But I to love me. Big speaker, big chop, big dealer. Big road. bounce with your cup. Bounce with your cup. If you're feeling nice and merry now, put your drinks up. Let me see you now. Bounce with your cup. Bounce with your cup. Bounce. Feeling nice and merry. Come on, put your drinks up. Now we shot in Hennessy. Shots. Drinking Rugal. Shots. Johnny Walker Black and now we walking on a gala. Then I drink me Grey Goose. Shots. Just to get loose. Shots. Got me rum and coca drinking big cup alone. Come sing now. Big cup alone. Joe. Big cup alone. Joe. Big cup alone. It help me get in a this zone. We drinking big cup alone. Hey. Big cup alone. Yeah. Big cup alone. It help me get in a this zone.
Mr. Bartender, hey, I got an agenda to drink the bottle of rum. Straight till the party done.
Let's go.
We buying drinks out the bottle. Hey. We don't drink out the cup. Yo. And when you see we in the building, you know the party turn up.
So come now, bounce with your cup. Bounce
with your cup.
If you're feeling nice and merry now, put your drinks on. Come again now, bounce with your cup. Bounce
with your cup.
If you're feeling nice and merry, come on, put your drinks on. Because we shot in Hennessy. Shot. Drinking Rugal. Shot. Johnny Walker Black and now we walk up on a gala. Then I drink me Grey Goose. Shot. Just to get me loose. Shot. Grab the rum and coca drinking big cup alone. Come now say big cup alone. Hey.
Big cup alone.
Hey. Big cup alone. I used to get in a this zone. We drinking big
cup alone.
Hey. Big cup alone. Big cup alone. And then we get in a this zone.
The evolution of radio. Boom 1069.
You're locked on to the trending station 1069, saying good morning to you. We're having a bit of a late start this morning, but nevertheless, we're going to make sure that we keep you entertained all the way to 10 a.m. with good vibes, good conversation, and some good energy around here. Listen, we got some messages for you before we get into any discussions this morning. We want to encourage you to check out Barry's Auto Parts, located on Lower Middle Street. You can get your parts for many different vehicles. You can get your fender, your headlights, your brake, your master, your booster, tail light, shocks, fans, mirrors, arms, just to name a few. You can call Barry's Auto Parts at 593-5226. And if you're checking out their physical location, you can also check out On Fleet Boutique that is in the same building as Barry's Auto Parts. You can get your fits for any upcoming event that you have. I think we've got quite a few this month. We've got Miss SVG. I know Chiwali has his event. So there are a lot of stuff that are coming up that you may need a nice fit for. So check out On Fleet Boutique, and you can call them on 497-8227. Again, the number for On Fleet Boutique is 497-8227. And check out Pharmacy Plus today for your dietary supplement needs. You can choose from a wide range of vitamins, minerals, and tonics for children and for adults to support all body functions. To boost the immune system, increase energy, and support healthy hair, skin, and nails. Back in stock at Pharmacy Plus, they've got your Ferroglobin tonic in capsules, your Nerve tonic, Vitone tonic, and your Pharmaton advanced tablets. You can pick up your biotin capsules retail. All of that on Egmont Street at Pharmacy Plus for supreme care or more. And we're saying good morning to the Quartz family. They've got sweet deals available at Quartz on stoves, mattresses, chair sets, and accessories with savings for up to 60% on selected products. Plus, visit their store to view their new arrivals. They've got the Nintendo PS5 and also the Craftsman Power Tool range. If you're into tools, I'm guessing that most definitely will intrigue you. If you've got no money, no problem, ask about their flexible credit payment packages. Quartz is bringing value home. Stay connected with a new Flow broadband 250 package and enjoy fiber fast internet connectivity at home and pay only $60 for the rest of the year. Broadband 250 packages available island-wide to subscribe today. Check them out in store or WhatsApp message the Flow Virtual at 494-5464. Terms and conditions do apply. Flow is keeping you connected. And I want to say good morning to you if you're locked on from Brooklyn, New York. Good morning to you. This one is for you. We're talking about Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant located on Clarkson Avenue. You can get your pulled chicken sliders, your mozzarella sticks, your guacamole and plantain chips, even the all-American burger, chicken, rice, and peas, and you can also grab your steak. I know that there's also cassava fries and a bunch of other things on the menu. So whatever you do, make sure you check out Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant today, again on Clarkson Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. And on the weekend, the Kingston Cooperative Credit Union, they are having the 14th National Dance Fest. It is back on Saturday, October 8th for one final dance under the theme Together We Can. This Saturday, KCCU brings the curtains to a close as all the gold medalists hit the stage once more. So make sure you're there and see who is adjudged Best Dance Group, Best Duo, Best Soloist for this year's KCCU's National Dance Fest. It's going to be starting at the same time, 7 p.m. at Russell's Auditorium, but the vibe is going to be a little bit different and definitely more excited. So make sure you take your friends and the whole family. This is an event you don't want to miss. Get your tickets now. They are on sale at KCCU on Granby Street, and you can also call them to place your order at 457-2409. It's 15. Okay, I'm guessing the price is the same. It's 15 for adults and that's 15 for children and $20 for adults. KCCU is creating a vibrant environment through dance. All right, got to shout out Sexy Momo, who's locked on. Why have it on me alone? I hate that. I despise that. All right. Good morning to Sexy Momo. Good morning to Bernadette. I'm seeing some people messaging the station WhatsApp. I don't know their names, but good morning to you and thank you for shouting us this morning. Good morning to Eden, Thomas, Bert. What's up? Michelle, good morning to you. Angela, good morning. Highly favored child. Listen, you can link up with us on our Facebook. We're live right now at Boom SVG 1069. That is the handle. That's also our handle for our YouTube and Instagram. You can link up with us on our station WhatsApp. You can send us your voice notes and your messages to 455-1069. And you can also give us a call when you're ready on our fixed line at 451-1069. I know that everyone was bracing themselves for some serious weather last night. I have not seen an update, but I will be checking throughout the morning to find out exactly what happened with that. Because right now in St. Vincent, the weather is not bad at all outside. It's not overcast. The sun is out. So, we are thankful for that, of course. It did rain quite a bit last night. I know some of us would have been knocked out and didn't realize it rained. It rained. There was rain.
Yeah, some drizzle.
But there was a little bit of rain. It was very windy. Very, very windy, especially into the early hours of this morning. It was really, really windy. But it was not what I thought it would be. So more than likely, I'm guessing the system. I don't want to assume. I'm not. Let me get the official update, and then I will bring that to you. Before we do have to jump out, because as we started late, we have to make sure that we pay them bills. I did see a release from the Ministry of Health that I just want to share with you because I think it's pretty important. The Ministry of Health said that it has recorded an increase in the number of gastroenteritis cases in St. Vincent and the Grenadines over the past few weeks. This is an inflammation of the stomach and the intestines and may be caused by viruses, bacteria, parasites, among others. It is spread by direct contact with an infected person by consuming contaminated food or water, so boiling water, or by touching contaminated surfaces, then putting your unwashed hands in your mouth. So we're going to tell you about some symptoms. They may include diarrhea, stomach pain, and fever and vomiting as well. In most cases, gastroenteritis is a self-limiting illness. However, children and elderly are more susceptible to complications such as dehydration, and should therefore be monitored closely. Signs of dehydration include decreased urination, dry mouth, crying with few or no tears. You can imagine crying and no tears coming out. Sure. Or feeling drowsy or sleepy. To prevent the spread, persons are advised to practice good hand hygiene by washing hands frequently and thoroughly with soap and water. So we're back to reminding everybody about washing your hands, you know, that little hygienic practice that we had forgotten before COVID, and now we're forgetting post-COVID. Can I say post-COVID? Well, Mr. Hamilton will be upset with me, but it is what it is. Especially after vomiting or after, and before and after meals. Wash fruits and vegetables thoroughly before consumption. Sanitize surfaces and objects frequently to eliminate the virus or bacteria. It is recommended that when sanitizing, you use 1 teaspoon bleach to 2 cups of water. Avoid going to work or school until the symptoms have passed if you're vomiting or have diarrhea. Avoid sharing cutlery or utensils. Persons are asked to seek medical attention at their nearest health center if their condition does not improve or if there are any signs of dehydration. You can also call 457-2586 for more information. So please boil your water, do what you can, you know, be clean. It's time to be tidying again. You ever had gastro? Not nice. You ever had gastro?
I'm not sure.
And you don't know if you ever had it. No, you can't recall. All right, so we just want everybody to be safe. Listen, we do have some things that I want to get into a discussion about with you this morning. I believe I heard the Prime Minister. I was listening to news in passing last night, and I heard him giving his take on the whole situation that's been happening with the vendors, the fish vendors. So we're gonna get into discussion about that. I also want to talk about a clip that I saw with the Commissioner of Police speaking about how many crimes they've solved and how many arrests they've been able to make for this year. We're going to get into a little bit of a discussion about that too. And still to come within this hour, we have Council Jomo Thomas. He's going to be joining us. So don't you go anywhere. A lot in store for you this morning right here on OMG in the Morning.
The NTRC's 2022 iCode 784 competition is here. Dream, code, innovate. With total cash prizes of over $25,000 to be won. What are you waiting for? Enter in any of the 3 categories: secondary idea, secondary mobile app, and the open categories for persons 35 years.
Big People Events presents October Raga Soca Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road. Big road.
Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shanique at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Raga Soca Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Selection of products in the History Express. Remember, X is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
September is Credit Repair Month at GECU. We are improving access to credit for all members with great loan offers this September. We're easing loan requirements and offering different bundles to get you back on track. Manage these difficult times with loan bundles to fit your needs. Seamless access to loans, lower rates, and greater flexibility. Come in and speak to our loans officers today.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family fun days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Among friends
I look coming when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love. Easy wins.
Catch the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash, data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love.
Low terms and conditions apply.
Special rate for women entrepreneurs. Flexible term payments for secured and unsecured loans, plus business support to help your business grow. Visit us in store or online at www.readyfinance.
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus for supreme care and more. And Saturdays at Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus for supreme care and more.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
But you ain't never loved the way that I have. The type of love will take your heart and break it up. And now you're living in the past and can't go back. So sad. So if you find someone that you can lose, please surrender. The love salute up and now set your heart was bruised. Please surrender. The love salute, lost your love, yet it's losing you. Please surrender. The love salute, you'll find someone that you can lose. Surrender, salute, salute. Salute. You say you're rough. What if you see your woman with an ex-man? Then you're good lady, you say gonna bust. And then the man to talk to you that take a step on. All the steps on you that never trust. It's not fair in love and war. Casualties of broken hearts. Surrender now and lose it all with open arms. So if you find someone that you can lose, please surrender. And love salute up and love set your heart was bruised. Please surrender. And love salute, lost your love, yet it's losing you. Please surrender. And love salute, you'll find someone that you can lose. Surrender, salute, salute. Now I say put on your pride and put on your ego. Salute. Salute. Love is coming at you.
Unity we need, peace, unity we need. If we
can't come together, then you never know. East, unity we need. If we can't come together, my brother.
If I'll be fussing and fight, have a fussing and fight. You hate me, I hate you. We all gotta have to unite, yes. Unite, yes. For the envy and the jealousy, you disagree and I disagree. We all gotta have to unite. Well, to segregate the foolishness, a nation divided by itself cannot excel. Break down all those evil spells. Well, let's break this chain and start it higher. Expand your mind and start it broader. So it can filter down to your family. Oh, family. All the fussing and fight, all the fussing and fight. You hate me and I hate you. We all gotta unite. Because your jealousy and your envy, you disagree and I disagree. We all gotta unite.
Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Bob Marley, who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Rodney Price, he's been fighting for our rights. Recall Bernie Spear, recall Culture Josephine, recall Miss Lou Fitzroy, they've been fighting for our rights. Recall them. Recall them. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights.
Watch it, streets watching people keep eavesdropping. Seeds happen but not telling the peace nothing. Squeeze doesn't the whole universe something. Some say them a goat, them mustn't mean nothing. Hey, heads bopping and the feet tapping. Small lights, tree chopping. What I got happen when the beat chopping? Them your style, yeah, them no need no pen. Ain't nothing like the narco. Tell me where we can go with this contraband in our cargo. Call him Natty Pablo. They call him Natty Pablo. Kilimanjaro, nothing like the narco. Tell me where we can go with this contraband in our cargo. Call him Natty Pablo. They call him Natty Pablo. Kilimanjaro. Alright, smuggling the truth, sending to the destitute. Breaking down the systems that they built to keep we mute and dirty book man resurrected. Anointed, not elected. Energize the ready, he comes to Dr. Sebi. Top striker like Aldo, head Andrew, St. James, St. Andrew. So I feel I got you, when I change when I pass through. Water in the grassroots, I will never forget you. Ain't nothing like the narco. Tell me where we can go with this contraband in our cargo. Call him Natty Pablo, they call him Natty Pablo. Kilimanjaro, nothing like the narco. Tell me where we can go with this contraband in our cargo. Call him Natty Pablo. They call him Natty Pablo. Kilimanjaro.
Save your love for me and don't give it to nobody. I'm so far away and I know you're lonely there. Save your love for me and don't give it to nobody. I've been away from you for quite some time now, but I'm coming home tonight. You're on tour. There is not one day your name isn't mentioned, and I can't ignore that a girl like you deserves attention. And being like this wasn't my style. Walking around with a big broad smile. You make me happy like a little child. Save your love for me and don't give it to nobody. I'm so far away and I know you're lonely there. Save your love for me and don't give it to nobody. I've been away from you for quite some time now, girl. I don't wanna wait, no. I don't wanna wait in vain for love, for love, for love, no, no. I don't wanna wait, no. I don't wanna wait in vain. Huh? Baby dance, baby dance, baby dance for me one more time. And you show me you what you got, girl, blow my mind. Oh yeah, say baby dance, baby. I'm say one more time. Oh, girl, just show me what you got, you blow my mind. Hey, from we over there, so we sit down in the corner, I pray. I wish we have like one, it's gonna be me. No waste, man, I step there. Put me take a down and make it them the time of day. Ooh, I touch you like a gentleman. Compliment the skin so smooth and you're so gentle. And let me introduce myself, this is Busy, the original. And when you dance, girl, you're rising up this. Baby dance, baby dance for me one more time. And you show me you what you got, girl, blow my mind. Oh yeah, say baby dance, baby. I'm say one more time. Oh, girl, just show me what you got, you blow my mind. Girl, we love it when you stick it in the game up. You deserve a squeeze and a hug. Move your body to the reggae beat, let it slow. No rush, there is no need to speak, cause we go on and on and on till the time. Hey, Emma, we not have nothing to worry about. Girl, this is what it's all about. It's all about. Baby dance for me one more time. And you show me you what.
It's time for our Plain Talk segment with Council Jomo Thomas.
Plain Talk. Plain Talk with Jomo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now on OMG. Plain Talk. Plain Talk with Jomo Thomas. All you talk now on OMG.
Alright, we good now?
Hello, good morning.
Alright, good morning to you, Council.
Good morning. Daniel, you okay?
I am.
Hello?
Hi, Council, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm asking you if you're okay. I was looking at you and you had your head bowed as though you were deep in
Let's go.
You're deep in concentration. I hope you're well.
The public was not seeing that though.
They were not.
So thank you for that.
All right. Morning, Shady. Morning, Fernando Khan. Good morning, most of all, to the public who did not see what I was exposing. I'm so sorry. I thought that everyone
sorry.
Look, I want to talk a little this morning of a piece that was in the paper. Well, actually, I saw it on Eyewitness News, having to do with opposition parliamentarian Sinclair Leacock response to Prime Minister Gonzalez visiting the King, and he took a real broad swipe at him, and maybe it's in some ways it's justified. But I mean, in a political sense, it's justified. But certainly, I am not so sure of the usefulness of it, because, and one of the reasons why I decided to talk about this is because Sinclair Leacock is one of the most persuasive and formidable opposition candidates, and I think that is one of the reasons why Gonzalez tried so hard to woo him in 2018 and 2019, particularly when he lost the race to become the leader of the party. But I thought that opposition parliamentarian Leacock was a little over the top when he claimed that that Gonzalez, he did not understand why Gonzalez would go to visit the king, because for the last 13 years Gonzalez was railing against the monarchy, particularly since and even including and up to the 2009 referendum. For one, as the head of government in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Gonzalez was engaging in some form of state diplomacy. And I take Leacock's hypocritical point, because Gonzalez, even though he was engaging in diplomacy, did not have to go to see the king. He could have made all kind of excuses as to why he couldn't go to see the king. But I think that Gonzalez likes that kind of demonstration, that profile before and in front of the world, in relations to world leaders. I think it's for that reason, for example, we saw him showing up in Taiwan as the tensions build up there. We saw him making appearances across the world, appearing with major leaders and so on. And that has been his profile over the last 20 years. But what I found disheartening by Major Leacock's presentation, though, is his attempt to assault a whole series of other things that I think are critically important to us. And I speak about his assault on the CCJ, saying that Gonzalez wanted to move away from the Privy Council and to attach our country to the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, as though this was such a horrible thing, as though we must keep our navel string buried in London and to forever deal with issues in determining our judicial philosophy and determining cases with the Privy Council in England. I think that that's a dying concept. In fact, the vast majority of countries who were colonized by Britain and who were had the Privy Council as its final court has moved away. I think there's now only about 13 or 14 countries, most of them in the Caribbean, that still rely on the Privy Council for final judicial decisions. So I thought it was unfortunate that he will take that broadside against, he thinks it's against Gonzalez, but he's actually unleashing a broadside against an important Caribbean institution, which is the Caribbean Court of Justice. I was also a little concerned that in making the argument against Gonzalez and the monarchy, he unleashed another broadside against one of the most prominent Caribbean public intellectuals, Dr. Hilary Beckles. Dr. Hilary Beckles is the head of the Caribbean Reparations Commission. He's an eminent Caribbean intellectual. He has written extensively. He's an economic historian. He has written extensively on issues having to do with the development of the Caribbean. His most recent book, How Britain Underdeveloped the Caribbean, is a classic work that tends to explain the relationship that we had with Britain and colonialism, and how that relationship resulted in the underdevelopment of the Caribbean. So I'm a little disappointed that in going after the Prime Minister and talking about his almost hypocritical approach, he confused and conflated a lot of things and attacked the CCJ, the reparations, and our intent to move away from the Privy Council as a final court, as though that is not the trend in the former British colonies. It reminds me in many respects. It reminds me in many respects of what Lloyd Bess some years ago, I think in 1971, in a piece, described some of these Caribbean politicians as Afro-Saxons, meaning that many of them are more British than the British and love British institutions and cultural values more than the British themselves, even though they have African stock. So I thought that was unfortunate that he would do as he did. Where I agreed with him in his commentary is in his presentation is where he talked about the calculus. We talked about the political calculus in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He said that Gonzalez would not risk calling an all election. Well, I don't think that Gonzalez is going to call an election 2 years into his fifth term. But I think that he might have overplayed the argument in that there's a real possibility that Gonzalez may call an all election. It may not be now, but there are 3 years left in the term. Historically, Gonzalez has always has served his term a month before, 6 weeks before. That has been his approach. If we look at the 2005, 2010, 2015, and 2020 election, but he has to understand that there may be a change in play. Gonzalez, the political astute man that he is, knows that his party no longer has the kind of stronghold that it has. He knows that in 2020, his party lost the majority vote in parliament. He knows that even the persons he wants to pass the party on to, Camilo, his son, that's the one he really wants to pass it to, or in the event that Soboto accedes to the leadership, those two he wants to secure. And if you look at the kind of work that's going on in both of those constituencies, East St. George and South Central Windward, there's a clear evidence there that they are trying to do the infrastructural work necessary to, in the event that there's an election and there's a loss, that at a minimum, both Camilo and Soboto, who are perceived and projected as future leaders of the country, would maintain their seats. I think that his calculus is correct in North Windward, in North Leeward, in other areas, his party is impregnable. But I think that all too often, when it comes to pulling the trigger from a constituency parliamentary standpoint, I think the party has failed time and time again to get people to pull the trigger for them. If we notice in Grenada, you had a 17% turnaround. The National Democratic Congress in Grenada had a 17% turnaround in popular vote for them, and that allowed them to win 9 of the 15 seats. The NDP, even though it has gone from 22,000 votes in 2001 to 34,000 seats, it has increased its vote count by more than 50%. Yet, well, by almost 50%, but yet it has been unable to wrest the reins of power from the government. So I think that, yeah, the calculus sounds right, but you have to get people, you have to understand that the popular vote is not the central thing in a parliamentary democracy. We saw it in 1998 when the NDP won 8 seats and the ULP won 56% of the popular vote. We saw it in 2020 where the NDP won the popular vote by about 400, 500 votes, but the ULP actually increased its parliamentary majority from 8-7 to 9-6. So those are all things that I think that those of us, these are not just for the politicians, these are for us as citizens as well, to look at so we'd have a better understanding of what is taking place in our country. That's my take for this morning.
All right, Council, there aren't many, but we there are like 2 questions here, but I do want to do a quick station ID.
It may be difficult for me to do beyond 8 o'clock this morning because I have a very important case and I have a conversation with the attorneys before the case. So if we don't have the questions now,
just someone here on my personal WhatsApp, they're saying historically, I'm trying to remember because whatever, my phone would not unlock. Historically, this person is basically saying historically, based on the past, the elections in other islands, it seems as though SVG does the opposite of what the other islands are doing. And why do you think that is?
Well, I don't think that we do the opposite. I think that in many respects, we have an opposition party that has not been effective in a counter narrative, that the government presents a narrative and they have not been able to effectively match it. And as a consequence of that, they perform fairly well, and they have been performing very well since 2010. They took the government from 12.3 to 8.7 in 2010, again to 8.7 in 2015, and then slipped a little and lost one of the seats that they held in 2020, even though it's very narrow. And even though the ULP won that election, in a real sense, it lost its stronghold on the country, that none of the persons whom the party could have, whom the party believed were impregnable, can now be said to be impregnable, except for PM Gonzalez himself. So I don't think it's that we are doing the opposite. I think the opposition is not doing sufficiently to convince the electorate why they should vote for them, and to vote for them in overwhelming margin. Part of the reason for that is that the NDP decapitated itself. The NDP became quite estranged with its founding father, James Mitchell, and then it never really tried to repair that relationship. And more than that, it also became estranged with whom Mitchell himself said was one of the key strategists, Pierre Campbell. And so when you alienate your top strategists, electoral strategists, that they explain why the party has been able to gain some ground, but not sufficient to wrest the reins of power from the ruling party in the last 20 years.
All right. And the final question is if you've ever questioned the legitimacy of any of the elections.
Not on the day of the election. No, I have not. I think that the way in which our system works, we have polling agents for all parties. And I think what the elections show on the day is that that was the count on that day. I believe there are a number of things that governing parties do. It's the power of the incumbency. Governing parties could encourage its supporters to move around. And I'm sure parties have done that here in St. Vincent. I'm sure the ruling party does it. If you are impregnable in, let's say, North Central Windward, and you are not so strong in North Windward, you may encourage some of your people to go to reside. A year approaching the election, the party may even pay for them to go and reside in another area. So they take up residence there after 6 months. They get a card and they vote. We would recall that I think it was after the 2010 election, a big part of the North Central Windward constituency was chopped off and attached to the North Windward constituency. Had that not been done, Montgomery Daniel would have lost that seat a long time ago. So political parties, governing parties, using the power of the incumbency, do a lot of things that may redound to their benefit electorally and may result in a successful election. But on the day itself, I don't think I have never seen anything which causes me to question the legitimacy of the vote.
All right, Council, we want to say thank you so much for being with us this morning. Looking forward to hearing you again tomorrow.
Yes, Daniel. Thank you as well. Until we meet again. Take care.
All right.
Drink it up. Island sips plum rose water. We drinking. Taste the flavor today. Drinking plum rose water.
Big People Events presents October Ragasoka Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road. Big road.
Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Ragasoka Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Your Penny Bank, and so much more. For more information, call us at 456-1894 or visit our website today at
Family Fun Days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family Fun Days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, under love. Easy wins with love.
Catch the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan. Switch to Flow or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash, data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, sign it up on the love. Easy wins with Flow.
Low terms and conditions.
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus, for supreme care and more.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Every day, we help businesses succeed. Special conditions apply.
Boom 1069.
Nation, I just faith with a little bit of hope. Some things that people do me how I wanna judge and know. And we still a stay afloat. Call me the captain of the boat. If me did slow, them would have bury me below. Them can't get a spliff off of the weed when me smoke. I will pray serious like the judge in the court. I weed them nothing try provoke. Fire still ablaze, we never call a meditation. Hide the weed, I roll a man, I tell you something powerful. Like the president. Deep thoughts when they up in my elements. You say them not real too. I need evidence. So watch the energy, you're welcome to your resident. Natives always remember. When you rise up at thanks, you feel tell Jack out the streets cool like the time in December. If you're not real, the circle, you're not for enter. Them say, blood thicker than water, so a family first. But I do water keep me going when times are the worst. Try to put me under the dirt in the work. The Father still a guide me even though me never got church. Keep a smile on my face so them no know what no hurt. Looking over my shoulder like when the car a reverse. For genuine energy when no for search. Forever they go row I go firm. But a whole heap of hate I go face when you forward from a place like prison and there's no escape. Just a go on holy faith. Never lose my way, no. Holy by hate, ya go face when you born for be great. For the youths, make them go on through the gate. Just a go on, holy faith. Never lose my way, no. Man, I tell you, say we powerful, like the president. Deep thoughts when me up in my elements. You say them not real too. I need evidence. So watch the energy, you're welcome to your resident. Natives always remember. When you rise up at thanks, you feel tell Jack out the streets cool like the time in December. If you're not real, the circle, you're not fair. She says she want a man to really make she happy. She don't want to love anybody like everybody. She been through hell in the past like Angela's story. So she not forgive it easily to any girl. Me understand, so here's the plan. Me and you together, we could make a lot of bands. The vision when we get is you, me and some millions. Listen up. You got the mind, so you feel know me got the guts. Me and you against the world, it's over time, let's get up. No, we are the mindset like the light, so them can hold me back. Every step we make them next step dangerous. Teach about the trade and then we just invest in me. We forget about the hate, just make we live and stack the cash. Me no see nobody else, just only you done tell me that. Tell you this again. My is you, this is you, my is you. She whisper in my ears now. This is you, my is you, this is you.
If you go way up on the mountain, pain in a fountain. With all of my flaws, me still go ten. These are the sad part of the process. We never far from perfect. Hurt people close to me when I deserve it. And I make me feel me so perfect. Life full of lessons, I'm still a learner. Yeah, I make enough mistakes now. Just last week, I touched my best friend, girl. Wish the hands of time could turn. And all the body memories would burn. Yo, Jack, me not perfect, my G. Yeah, for girl, where would I do anything for me? I'ma still find myself out the road I cheat. With a girl, but if I'm sick, wouldn't make my tea. Now I have to wear my me. Messed up individual. Wish me could have talked to God, but me not spiritual. Get a leap of love, but feelings not reciprocal. Damn, it's the inside, it's just a visual. Feel to go way up on a mountain. Wash up my pain in a fountain. With all of my flaws, me still go ten. These are the sad part of the process. We get my far from perfect. Hurt people close to me when I deserve it. And I make me feel me so perfect. Life full of lessons, I'm still a learner. Yeah, I make enough mistakes now. Just last week, I touched my best friend, girl. Wish the hands of time could turn. And all the bad memories would burn. I guess it could have worse, right? At least my no friend killer, bad mind. People judge me for where them I see online. Everybody have them demons that are mankind. But at least my honest. I'm just human, I'm not from a distant planet. We're perfect like skin without no blotches. Someone I go fumble, that's something we can promise. We came far from perfect. Hurt people close to me when I deserve it. And I make me feel me so perverted. Life full of lessons, I'm still a learn them. Yeah, I make enough mistakes, my words. Just last week, I touched my best friend, girl. Wish the hands of time could turn. And all the bad memories would burn.
Before we continue our conversations this morning, gotta encourage you to be at the KCCU's National Dance Fest. They're closing the curtains this Saturday. That is the 8th of October. They're having one final dance under the theme Together We Can. And the gold medalist will hit the stage once more. You gotta check them out to see who's adjudged best dance group, best duo, and best soloist for this year's KCCU's National Dance Fest. It's taking place at the Russell's Auditorium, 7 p.m. So make sure you check it out with all your friends and families. An event you don't want to miss. Get your tickets today at KCCU on Granby Street. You can call to place your order. The number is 457-2409. It is $15 for children, $20 for adults. And today or this weekend, you can check out Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant on Clarkson Avenue in Brooklyn, New York for your pulled chicken sliders, mozzarella sticks, guacamole, plantain chips, your all-American burger, chicken, rice, and peas, even steak. All of that is at Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant on Clarkson Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. All right, so we're going to deal with which one of the things we say we deal with first. You got to help me today.
Nah. Well, you know what I mean? I think he was pulling up something.
No. That ain't come next.
No, well, actually,
I had to actually go and record that to play it.
Actually, I was pointing your attention to a situation there in the UK where two Vincentians were charged with a number of crime following the death of a lady, Susan. I don't know. Some of the details are still kind of sketchy because
who is Susan? Susan is the woman accused.
No. Susan is the UK resident.
Okay.
She's the UK resident. So the two Vincentians they were charged for her death. They're charged for murder. I think bank fraud, card fraud. It's
an elderly lady, isn't
an
it?
elderly lady. Let me get the
Well, my thing is, why are we going and taking our bad behavior elsewhere? And when these things happen, I always say, I hope that it doesn't result in
Yeah.
In us feeling pressure and difficulty traveling to
Mhm.
wherever it is we're going to carry our bad behavior.
Yeah. Well, you see, and I don't want to jump the gun yet, because it's just an allegation, really.
Yeah, but we just go places and behave bad. It's happened in other places.
Yeah.
So
So
what was the reason for us eventually having to get visas to go to Canada? You think they just decide, let's just
it was an
let
abuse
Vincent
of the
have-
process.
I
I,
mean, come
understand
on.
it's an abuse
I mean,
of
come
the
on.
process.
How much Vincent each person in this room here would have known at least one person who
Yeah.
went to somewhere and they overstay. You
Yeah.
overstay, you're welcome.
Yeah,
That is what
yeah.
we basically do. They do something to get through with some kind of papers. I mean, we do these things. And it's
Let me say, it's Chelsea Grant and Zari Howard, residents of Otley Hall, who migrated overseas, charged in connection with the death of Susan
know
Harkey.
Chelsea.
Huh?
You know who?
I know Chelsea.
Yeah, I know Chelsea as well. It's quite unfortunate.
Who?
Eh?
This is
Chelsea Grant, yeah, young lady who used to be around town and so forth.
really.
Yeah, yeah. So according to reports in the UK media, Grant and Howard are also charged with fraud and theft of a bank card belonging to the pensioner. So the lady is a pensioner, Susan Harkey. She's a pensioner and she was found dead. They're also charging, besides the murder, they're charging them for fraud and theft of a bank card. So apparently they're alleging that they would have taken the lady's bank card, and probably did some transaction, because you see where they're charged with fraud. Yeah. So the lady was
Bad behavior,
she was
carry
75,
bad
71
behavior
years old.
and gone in people place and use
Yeah,
people.
it's-
This whole scamming culture too is the next thing that literally upsets my spirit.
Yeah.
When you see them come with the scam money
Yeah,
and
man.
play they bling in it.
if you watch
Hello,
the
we know
scamming-
you scamming. Like you
Yeah,
cannot
yeah,
be
yeah.
flossing. It's not
And
impressive.
you see the scamming thing
You're
now.
scamming to
is
floss,
like,
bro. It's not impressive. Let me get out my system. It is
Yeah.
not impressive when you're flossing with your scam money. It's not. That's
Yeah.
not hot.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah.
doing it. Don't do it. You're going. Oh, they upset my spirit.
Well, I
Just go
mean,
and carry
if the scamming and the driving the latest rides and the girls
Good morning,
them
your life.
watching and
And the girls who impressed by that
Yeah,
all ain't
yeah.
hot either.
Yeah.
Sister Marion, thank you, my brother, for raising a very important matter.
Yes.
And Sister Vera, that guy does a very good job, And I want to say to you, it's coming from my assessment when I call people. And I think, we need to listen to him sometimes. My brother, you're doing a very good job in terms of understanding the reality. I'm not saying, Sister Vera, you're not doing a good job. You're doing a very good job. But what I just wanted to say today is that I had something to speak about. I'm going to just leave that out and just respond to Jomo Thomas. I've said to him, I respect him a lot. I lost a lot of trust in him, but 90% of what he said I didn't agree with it. So I just want to just say clearly what happened. You asked him about the election, and I just want to say to you, if you go back to what come out of the case, all of the ballots used in the 2050 general elections in St. Vincent and Grenadines was defective in design. The space reserved for official mark for the presiding officer was located in the counterfoil instead of the ballot proper. That was a breach of the RPA. Some of the ballots in North Leeward elections in the final count, which was attended by the supervised election in persons, was devoid of the official mark. 3, none of the ballot boxes in Central Leeward was sealed in accordance with the law. The respective presiding officer and the returning officer should have known better. At least 321 ballots were mutilated by the presiding officer, and they gave the names and they went on. But hey, those said ballots, mutilated ballots, were then counted by the said presiding officer. At the final count, the Central Leeward, Mr. Gaines then counted the very same ballots. What is the very serious situation where Jomo should come in when the matter went in front of the court? The great Mr. Cottle said, I cannot go and inspect them because we will know how people. I've never seen that in my life. I call all the lawyers and ask them that. How could that have been a fair election? This is Mr. Hamilton. For the very first time, I walked in 2010, opposite the ULP to walk with the NDP, and I walked down the polling station here in Annisville. Do you know 25 minutes past 25 minutes past when the box the votes were being counted. My brother, Mr. Weeks, was there buying drinks by when we had the polling station closed, and he was there buying drinks when the ballot just a few minutes after the ballots are being counted. We ain't getting the official mark, and he there buying drinks and celebrating. But then what happened again in the last election? How could that be right? That a man who been doing very well in North Leeward lost by 1 vote. What do you all think with Spanish Station? But look at what? Not even an opportunity to recount. Jomo Thomas, are you for real? This is Mr. Hamilton. I walked with ULP. And let me just finish here. I walked with ULP. And I'm telling you, all over the night we walked. You know what we were doing? What I did here in Western George? Going all over the night to go through the ballot box, going through the list, voting list, and so on. I start to let me tell you something. I never realized that what was happening. They're not wasn't using to. Well, you know who is ULP? We go out. I go find out. You know who is Miss Vera, who is your brother Dave. We support. And then I start to see a lot of things are protested against it. People actually now. Contacted, offered all kind of sweetness. I said, Mother, what kind of a Spanish Station thing are we doing? I am saying we're not having a fair election in this country. And I'm only saying, that is that. Second one, last one I want to just talk about. The matter of the Queen is very dear to many of us. For me, I see it as a check and balance. My daughter's in Anguilla. And she said, Daddy, I leave St. Vincent, and I'm in a country where it's not independent, and I feel free. I'm not victimized. She's blocked out from teaching because her father said, I don't want ULP.
All right, Mr. Hamilton, that's why we gotta wrap you up. All right?
The last part.
No. Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. All right, you're out of time.
Yeah.
Don't be rattled when people try to tell you what to do. Fernando,
What are you talking about?
we're gonna talk about that.
I don't know.
Okay. I thought you was trying to get me to run Hamo because people. All right.
No,
Good morning, you're live.
Morning. Now, you guys were speaking about the incident where the lady was murdered by the 2 Vincent.
Yes.
And you know what disappointed me? Well, I wasn't surprised, but disappointed.
What you say? You wasn't surprised that they were arrested?
About a comment made on Facebook. I'm not going to call his name.
All right.
Saying that other nationalities would have committed crimes also. So because other people do it is okay
for us.
You know, and over and over you hear this excuse. There is something here, there's something here. But children, we have actually that we can control our destiny and make our people comfortable in St. Vincent and not compared to anybody else. And that's the point that a lot of people missing. That's the only thing I wanted to say.
Thanks very much, Carla, at that point. Thank you. I think you were saying something happens. I'm good there? No. It's something, okay. Yeah, I think you were saying that there are persons who commented that it could have happened elsewhere, but he's saying, well, it's
that's always the then we hear, it's happening everywhere.
Okay, Evelyn is saying Howard is from Edinburgh, not Atley Hall. So just to continue a bit, Danny, police said they believe Harky which is the lady, Suzanne, was specifically targeted in the attack. In August 2019, Grant appeared at the Kingston Magistrate Court charged with assaulting a Cane Garden woman. Senior Magistrate Ricky Bennett at the time had cautioned Grant to look at her attitude after she shared that she was scheduled to take up employment in the British Navy.
This is the same person you said you know?
Yes.
What happened?
In August 2019, she appeared before the Kingston Magistrate Court,
right,
charged with assaulting a Cane Garden woman. Ricky Burnett, which is the senior magistrate at the time, had cautioned Grant to look at her attitude after she shared that she was scheduled to take up employment in the
So he
British
basically let
Navy
her go because
because
he knew
of,
she had
of that
to,
opportunity. So
and then look at the
now
results.
she's Preston is saying
What's her
that is it Preston? Preston is saying it's not an allegation. They have been charged. So Lovon King respond that but they've not been convicted, so it's still an allegation during this period.
All right, good morning, caller, you live.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Hamilton, I think his facts correct now.
I didn't even hear what he
There's
said,
not
to be honest.
keeping up election and polling day. All ballots was counted. We have several recounts in North Leeward where Carlos James won by one vote. They was checked by the supervisor of election and their counterparts. The opposition agreed with it. They recheck it again. That's why they did not challenge it in the court.
Right.
That's all I just want to thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Election wasn't stolen on election day.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks very much,
Thank
man.
you.
Thanks for that contribution. So there's a
Not
rebuttal
on
there
election
to hammer.
day.
Yeah.
So what I mean,
Well,
on the day off.
It didn't happen on election day. Yeah, that's what it was.
The same thing. Council
Yes.
said he didn't
So
saw
Carla,
anything.
thanks for sharing that insight.
Not on election day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were telling
Yeah.
us about that story. And
Yes,
So,
so,
she did have an incident prior to leaving.
Yes, before she left, and I think the magistrate would have been sort of sympathetic because of that. And I think that's the next thing. Persons were asking whether or not they were in the Navy or if they went there on the program, because they're a program where a number of persons.
That would be unfortunate if they were there on a program. Good
Yeah,
morning, you're live.
Yeah, the election issue. I was disappointed as a voter. I went to my polling station to vote, which is outside the USP's leader constituency. And his entourage stopped at the polling station I was. It was on the main road in Stubbs. And he went into the polling station and greeting people on election day. While people was voting. And I'm pretty sure that is against the voting rules.
Okay.
So when people talk about what is right and what is wrong, that is wrong.
Understand, Carla. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for your contribution.
Love talking about elections and politics, boy. Listen, we got some information that we want to share with you that came out of the press conference yesterday. But before we do that, we have to give you some context. So we got to bring some information and backstory on where this whole thing started. So what we're gonna do is jump out, take a commercial break, and come back and get into that. That's coming up next on OMG in the morning.
At Cashways, we buy.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street opposite at Pharmacy Plus. You can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus for supreme care and more.
Get you back on track. Manage these difficult times with loan bundles to fit your needs. Seamless access to loans, lower rates.
When you top it up, switch it up, style it up, on the line. Easy wins with love. Easy wins.
Get the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan. Switch to Flow or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash, data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, sign it up under love. Easy wins with Flow.
Low terms and conditions apply.
Children of the future.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family fun days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
$1,000 to be won.
Big People Events presents October Raga Soca Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road, the road, the road. Big road.
Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Raga Soca Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Everything Vinci, the 2022 Expo at the Geese Terminal, October 24th to 28th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily with a kids' corner, themed entertainment nights, and local food and drinks on sale. For more info, call Invest SVG at 457-2159. Email everythingvinci@investsvg.com or follow Invest SVG on social media for updates.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game, more money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$200,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot from midday Tuesday, October 4th. It's $200,000.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game, more money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Drink it up. Island Sips Primrose Water.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Jenna, 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 mad. Jenna, 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 Jenna. I got the place, go on. I got the place, go on. Do what you want. Do what you want. I got the place, go on. I got the place, go on. Do what you want. Do what you want. I got the place, go on. I got the place, go on. Do what you want. Do what you want. I got the place, go on. I got the place, go on. Do what you want. Do what you want. Say none of them can hold I down. Did you take my song, boy? And them ready for me, tell them come. Now you can have back down. I will defend my ground, boy. If them say mash up the place, now we done start. If them say we down the gate, now we done start. If them say get in a band, now we done start. And every woman to a man, now we done start. Boy, I got the place, go on. I got the place, go on. Do what you want. Do what you want. I got the place, go on. I got the place, go on. Do what you want. Do what you want.
Tell them say them tired of the lame thing. Some of them and them just overbearing. All of them just coming with the same thing. Stunt one for the girl them so you know it's not a play thing. She don't want no mains, she don't want no AK. I just see rifle. I just see rifle. She don't want no mains. She don't want no AK. I just see rifle. I just see rifle. Rifle wine, 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 rifle. Take shots, 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 take shots. She have plug and she back. Sun in the front. Suki sending shots. Tell Koma bring the rum. They feel we come to play. Girl bring the body day. Then we walk it all night and walk it all day. Cause she don't want no mains. She don't want no AK. I just see rifle. I just see rifle. She don't want no mains. She don't want no AK. I just see rifle. I just see rifle wine. 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 Rifle. Take shots. 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 Tell them say them tired of the lame thing. Some of them and them just overbearing. All of them just coming with the same thing. Stunt one for the girl them so you know it's not a plaything. She don't want no mains. She don't want no AK. I just see rifle. I just see rifle. She don't want no mains. She don't want no AK. I just see rifle. I just see rifle wine. 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 Rifle. Take shots. 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 Take shots.
Yes, I'm talking to you. Come out to Tapel, make a split and bust a peg. And sit down right there, bounce on it and tell me what's your name. Hey, 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 bounce on it and tell me what's your name. Hey, 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 bounce on it and say your name.
Cause girl, the position they wicked. You make me man them stupid. I feel you want to keep my soul because you're bouncing crooked. You make me feel like I but the vision losing. And when you do what you do, baby girl, you know you're different.
Shake it up and twerk, look after your machine works. Some man like to eat with spoon, I want to give you a fork. If I rush a brush, I know you're gonna get paid up. I some man don't play with it when I give him work. Tell Lele baby, push up on it. Just loosen yourself and show me your dirty habit. Tell Lele baby, and push up on it. Just loosen yourself and show me your habit. Yes, you come out to Tapel, make a split and bust a peg. And sit down right there, bounce on it and tell me what's your name. Hey, 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 bounce on it and tell me what's your name. Hey, 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 bounce on it and say your name.
Cause girl, the position they wicked. You make me man them stupid. I feel you want to keep my soul because you're bouncing crooked. You make me feel like I but the vision losing. And when you do what you do, baby girl, you know you're gifted.
I don't want a 6:30, just give me the 12 o'clock. And if you looking to check your head, well you know I have the cock. What is that your money drop? Bend over and pick it up. Then stick and tremble, do it the right on this spot. Tell Lele baby, push up on it. Just loosen yourself and show me your dirty habit. Tell Lele baby, and push up on it. Just loosen yourself and show me your habit. Yes, you come out to Tapel, make a split and bust a peg. And sit down right there, bounce on it and tell me what's your name. Hey, 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 bounce on it and tell me what's your name. Hey, 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 bounce on it and say your name.
Cause girl, the position they wicked. You make me man them stupid. I feel you want to keep my soul because you're bouncing crooked. You make me feel like I but the vision losing. And when you do what you do, baby girl, you know you're
what's your name? Scotty. What's your name? Sherry. Tell me what's your name? No, it's Lucy. What's your name? Tell me what's your name? Oh, it's Kobe. What's your name? What? Tell me what's your name? I'm talking to all me girl there. Tell Lele baby, push up on it. Just loosen yourself and show me your dirty habit. Tell Lele baby, and push up on it. Just loosen yourself and show me your habit. Yes, you come out to Tapel, make a split and bust a peg. And sit down right there, bounce on it and tell me what's your name. Hey, 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 bounce on it and tell me what's your name. Hey, 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 bounce on it and say your name.
Cause girl, the position they wicked. You make me man them stupid. I feel you want to keep my soul because you're bouncing crooked. You make me feel like I but the vision losing. And when you do what you do, baby girl, you know you're gifted.
man, we up in your area. When you see me coming, you know it's danger. We better than you and all of your neighbor. And we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. And we no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. With this start, we dangerous, let them at the start. Everybody friend of us, somebody's a mash up face. We serious, we devious, and everyone we do we shouting. Wait, the party mash up the party shell. Problem just killing for the shall not, the party shall flat, boy. We don't have to be here inside this time. Only gotta remember, tell that, find anything, put it on, you have energy, to mash it up, we get it on hard. We don't give up one. Jesus Christ, mother walk, look at people behavior. We getting on man, we up in your area. When you see me coming, you know it's danger. We better than you and all of your neighbor. And we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. Come to crack it up. Action we start it up. Pull out the light at them in the dark, we go spark it up. Drinking we party cup and a rip up we party shot. Anything front of we where you know we go mash it up. I say, oi, dangerous. You must prepared of us. The phone make me get of us. Now the police go hate on us. You have energy, you come to mash it up. Jesus Christ, mother walk, look at people behavior. We getting on man, we up in your area. When you see we coming, you know it's danger. We better than you and all of your neighbor. And we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. How we no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. We no friend, we no friend, we no friend, nothing. We behavior, what does this? Anywhere we go, you don't know it's what does this? What does this? What does this? Start the back and all you don't know is what does this? Cock up your foot. We behaving what does? We behaving what does? It's not we bad. It's not we rude. We behaving what does? We behaving what does? No behavior, no behavior, no behavior, no behavior. We care. We behavior care. No behavior, no behavior. Don't get ready to let go. You see me?
We pumping on a different level. Everybody jumping on a different level. On the girl I'm whining on a different level. Oh Lord, we active on a different level. On a different level, jump up on a different level. Wind up on a different level. Free up on a different level. Drink up on a different level. Jump up on a different level. Wind up on a different level. Free up on a different level. Drink up. Welcome to a party, we love the party. Ain't nobody who love party like we. Level up, level up. Welcome to a party, we love the party. Ain't nobody who love party like we. Level up, level up.
Get the buckets, take the plates, get the plates, get some powder, lose some blood. We call that the water, what cause we insane? We throw it all over, look everything's clean. Pretty girls dash them, stush people dash them, VIP dash them, drunk people dash them. When the pretty girls dash them, stush people dash them, VIP dash them, drunk people dash them. Mad people fat, 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 mad people fat.
For 1069.
Mad people fet, mad people place, everything mad, everything mad. And you know what's also mad? Apparently the cassava fries at Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant and their snapper. So you want to check it out. They're open today. Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant is located on Clarkson Street in Brooklyn, New York. You can check them out for your pulled chicken sliders, your mozzarella sticks, even guacamole and plantain chips, and feast on the all-American burger, chicken, rice, and peas. Oh my goodness gracious, that just woke up my worms instantly. Make sure you check out Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant today. You know, it's so every time we have conversations about, you know, elections and all of that, I feel like you have to be so cautious about what you say. But I wanted to ask Council a question this morning. because he mentioned something about some of the advantages that you have as the party that is in power going into an election. And he said, maybe people could be moved around and stuff like that, and you go there 6 months before. We know how it works, right? You get that's officially your residence once you're there for 6 months. That's legal. Even if somebody pays me to move to, if someone pays me. No. I'm not talking about if they know. I'm saying if someone comes to me and says, listen, I want you to move here so that this is the aim, so that you can vote for me.
Well, that's
Is
I
that
think
legal?
as long as they move within the time frame, Ali.
So it doesn't matter the
that's
backside of it.
I think that's what is being used a lot of the times. The politicians want those posters in their constituencies, so they probably have chance for they have chance for just before the 6 months. You know what I mean? So that they could get them to vote early. And then there are situations where posters transfer, but they don't live in the area. There was a situation where, well, at least allegation. I should
Thank
say
you, because I'm
allegation.
looking at you like,
Yeah,
what?
I remember. I
So
remember
if
covering.
if I'm from I'm from
Union.
like
Right,
So like
you-
I'm from like Bel-Air, and my girlfriend is living in somewhere down Leeward, and I be down the way
What is your question? I don't understand. What is your question?
He's saying people live somewhere, but they're not residing there.
Right, they registered. They're registered in that constituency.
There were issues. I remember.
Well, it's where you register, it's where you vote. I still
No,
register- I
but
still
you're
register in
supposed
Union,
to.
You're supposed to
You're
change.
supposed to be if you register somewhere, you're supposed to be living there basically. You're supposed to be living in the area. So this is well, I remember one time.
Are you? Is
You're
that how
supposed to
you're
register.
supposed
Well,
to,
you're supposed
right?
to vote
Register where
you
you're
register.
living.
Exactly.
Where you're living, or
No,
where
well-
you're, but
No,
are
no,
you supposed
no.
to be registered where you're living? That's the
Yes,
question
in
I'm
the
asking.
constituency. Yes.
So if I
Yes.
go back and forth, where do you determine where I live?
Where you
What I
spend
mean
most
back
of your
and forth?
time.
What do you mean back and forth?
Even if you're back and
No,
forth,
well,
you
what
would
I'm
spend
saying, what I'm
most
saying.
of your time one place.
What I'm
You
saying,
know that.
What I'm saying, if you're already registered in an area, and you want to have a transfer into a different area now, a different constituency, you can do that. But there are persons, well, there are allegations at least. When I went to some of the polling stations, I met a number of persons there persons were claiming that they were not, they know the people in the community, the persons in the constituency know that person was not resided in the
That's another thing. Hold on.
the
Let's take this
constituency.
caller. Let's take this caller.
But
Good
yet
morning, you're
they're
live.
voting.
Hello, this caller.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning. Election and stealing election. It is possible, but take it with a grain of salt, okay? Now, the question you're debating there, where the young man is, where you're talking about living in a constituency.
Right.
For example, I was registered as a voter in North Leeward 150,000 years ago. I now live someplace else, but guess what? Except I decided to change that, I can go to North Leeward and vote. That's the law. Now, what you investigate is if the person just came in. Now that person need to prove that they've been living in that place for at least 6 months.
Right.
The law is, I can, once my name is on the list in a certain place, they can't force me to move it. I want to, and when I move now, I must prove now that I've been living in Queens Drive for 6 months. That's how it is.
Right.
So I know people who live in, I was living in Lomans practically because I was working with you at Camden Park. And I go back to Chumuka to vote when they changed the thing so that I could vote at that age. And again, right now, I know people they live in town, but they're still registered in North Leeward, and you can't stop them from voting.
And I understand that, but where you're not living in the area, or you transfer as a voter to a different constituency.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That
If
is
you
the
transfer,
point.
you must present the evidence that you've been living there for at least 6 months before the election day.
Right, exactly.
You have to do that.
And that's what I'm telling you. I've seen a number of instances where people are like, this person does not live, they don't come from this area.
No, that's a different story. No, if you don't come from the area and here you are showing up, then that is the reason. That is when you question the eligibility of the voter.
Yeah.
How long since they registered there?
No, the point is they're not even supposed to be registering there.
No, if less than 6 months, you can't.
You know what I mean?
You're breaking the law.
But in that case, Frank, in that case, they're not supposed to be registering there if they don't live there, if they don't have any relation there. You know what I mean?
No, I'm saying if...
No, Shady was asking me how long the person...
We're assuming...
One at a time.
Yes, we're assuming, okay, that they move and now live in Western George.
Yeah.
But in order to get your name on the voters list in Western George, you must be able to prove that you've been living in Western George for 6 months.
Right. But does it happen so all the time?
I can't answer that, my friend.
But I wanna understand if it's legal for a political party to go to someone and say, I want you to move to this constituency and vote for me in the next election, and I might give you XYZ. Is that legal?
No. If that is cheating and that is bribery. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Well.
But I tell you something, my dear. I could find you all an article from, I think, 1998, where people were told to move. You got your boyfriend and a girlfriend living XYZ, that they should go down there and register to vote. But then you see, some people fall asleep on the job.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable. I have that on tape. I have it published. But that was done. And people get away with stuff.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, man.
It's real interesting.
Yeah.
It's called gerrymandering.
Yeah,
That's what it calls when you manipulate the boundaries in your electorate, right? So I find these things so interesting because, I mean, yeah, no, you need the evidence to prove it, but if you're in a community, I don't know if you're thinking 6 months ahead to be vigilant for new people, and how do you go about even verifying that, this person is now moving here because they're simply here to vote.
Right.
So I think it's something easy to get away with. Not saying that it has been done.
Yeah, Winston is saying the rules that govern elections need revisions.
I agree.
And to be properly enforced.
I agree. Good morning, you're live.
Hello, good morning. It's ironic. I made a post on Facebook this week, and if you're my Facebook friend, you go see the post. I said, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right. I'm going to repeat that again. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
You see how these pop-up villages, for example, the one down Peter Soap, that the Unity Labour Party pop up in a constituency, that they are weakening politically and moving their supporters into that constituency to prop it up. That's Labour love for all you. And Vincent can sit down and play willfully dotish and don't understand the legal manipulation. That might not be right. And allow these things to happen. But let me look past politics. Everything that have been promised by these politicians, none of them are manifest. Only a few of them manifest and only a few people rich. Meanwhile, the majority hungry and the majority balling. So don't pay attention to ballot box and what thief and what not thief. Look at your children and see if your children's future bright as a result of this political party. With that said, when the other political party go in there, all don't feel like they're going to fix things for them because all of them bad men are wicked the same, you know. all you better look out for the betterment of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and your children. Because a politician go sweet talk you, just like Barry Commons. One of them sweet lies. We replace him man with politics and replace the woman with yourself. Now Jack is a Mac and he come around every Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. They go Mama Gayala when to get the sweetness all your vote, they change their mind. And on to the next one. Vincent and all better wake up and demand better for all the future generation.
Yes.
Me they good for me there now. So me just a ball for all you.
Thank
They
you.
go for yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the one thing, right? And then I usually like, but I'm sure we'll really repeat this conversation again coming up close to election time. That's why I don't really discuss it much, because election, you're going to have these conversations again. But anyway, another thing during the election process that I always take a look at, and I'm like, this giving away of this whole conversation that we have about people getting materials. Where that come from? Is that allegation? What is it really? Because we having a discussion here.
We have a caller. Take the call first. The
caller not there. Okay, all right. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm enjoying the conversation. However, I'm going to say that you just made a point that I think that we need to be careful when we make such points, even though it may be the truth, because the point where you made in which is that it is so easy for them to get away when they gerrymander their way during an election in terms of doing illegal activities and getting away with it. Yes, we have seen how they have been able to do it and make it look like it is the norm. But what this does is that it shows up St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It shows up the citizens, and it shows how much we are not civic competent, you understand? And I'm saying this to say this is where the schools need to step their game up in regards to how much they go about teaching civics and letting these people, these students know that, and the future generation know that you have the right to be a civic responsible. You understand? So you should not allow anyone to come around during an election and maybe bribe you, offer you anything for your constitutional right to vote. You understand? So once people get that understanding, maybe when the authorities choose to go about and try to do fraud events during an election, people will pick up and say, no, this is not right, it is wrong because it is punishable by the law. But then we know that the authorities, they are in power, they go about doing these things and then they get away with it. But let's not continue that narrative. Let us instead speak and let the people know that it is wrong, it is a crime, and people need to educate themselves about it so that in the future they can help to stop it and guard themselves against being cheated out of an election, because we know democracy really isn't a democracy. You understand? It is just a name, and it is high time our people become more civic competent, pick up civic responsibility, and walk with pride as a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very good contribution. I like
Yeah.
that. Thank you, caller.
Okay,
He
go ahead,
mentioned some things, right, that made me ponder.
Yeah.
Because let's say, hypothetically, we're using a random situation here, people, right? Hypothetically speaking, let's say I see you getting something from a politician during election, right, Fernando? I see you.
Yeah. No.
I saying, boy, this looking suspect. You in the constituency, you're the politician. I see you getting your all kind of thing. What do I do? Do I report it? Like, do I just see and don't see? Like, what then? Because if it's illegal, no, just things, a box of stuff,
love box.
things. I didn't say I love box, bro. I said a box with stuff. Little things to help out your house repairs and whatever. What am I doing when I see something like that? Do I go and report the matter? You understand what I'm saying?
Sure,
What is my responsibility as a citizen?
Sign up for yours.
This is back for yours.
It's Sticky. Good morning, you're live.
Yeah, man. Too much corruption.
Let me tell you, the views expressed by you, Dave, is not the views of Boom 1069. So go ahead. Because I think you going down a road, Let's hear what you're gonna say.
What do you mean? So all what I've been hearing is not corruption? Why you calling that?
We are using hypothetical situations.
Huh?
Go ahead, Dave. Make your contribution.
You see, that's the problem I have, and that's the reason why when I stop speaking, I want to see how things will go.
No, keep talking.
All right, you want to hear me keep talking? Yeah, but all what is being said, Dave Roberts has been living long in our so-called blessed country, home of the blessed St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I have seen it all happen, and that's why I am fed up of the politics in our country. I am so tired of hearing about good character. When the Prime Minister introduced some of them, he said, "Oh, Danielle is a woman of impeccable character." What does that mean? Maybe he could explain that when I come off. Such and such is a person of impeccable character.
You never hear Trump say so? Trump.
Yeah.
Trump
Well, Trump, this is my partner.
And watch me now, when Trump gets himself in problem, like when they go against Trump now, they want to set up people.
Yeah. So, okay, well, you say some of what I am trying to explain. It only goes to show, and that's why I love Zion. I carry so this year. All you hypocrites, they dress down in their 3-piece or how much pieces of suit, and they come to see you like some high profile, but they're the real scamps and vagabonds in our country. The Prime Minister must make this known to us because he loves to call us scamps and vagabonds. And I ain't telling no lies. The whole world of St. Vincent and the Grenadines know how the Prime Minister insults us. But not Dave Roberts, me not take no insult. I will die, as Singing Sandra said, I will die with my dignity. But how many of us are prepared to die with our dignity?
You just get anything election time?
When you see things
you just get any
happening,
lumber thing election time?
Wait. Come on, man. You're insulting me too, You're insulting me too.
All right, thank you, Dave. We got to take a station ID, all right?
And I have to depend on them for a handout. I will die. I prefer as Camille said, Camilo. NDP people must suffer and die. I don't know you're not. We must suffer and die. So if I'm an NDP supporter, I will suffer and die. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's take a commercial break. It's going to take us to the top. We'll come back and continue our discussion. I know there are lots of comments. We want to get through some of those from the live as well. Don't you go anywhere. More OMG in the morning is coming up.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered by a company owned by... Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs? At Metrocint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrocint General Insurance Company.
At bus stops? Then let the SVG Teachers Cooperative Credit Union Limited put you in the driver's seat with our Drive Your Dream Vehicle loan. With up to 5 years to repay and a low...
Big People Events presents October Ragasoka Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road.
Music by DJ Easy Sound. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Oshani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Ragasoka Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Be the signs, do what's right, put a stop to child abuse. See, suspect, say! Among friends and families.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus, for supreme care and more.
Compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family fun days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Number 8 is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Drink it up. Island Sips Plum Rose Water. We're drinking. Taste the flavor today. Drinking Plum Rose Water from Island. When you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love. Easy wins.
Get the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash, data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love.
Low terms and conditions apply.
The way you move, yeah. The way you whine and you grind and you bubble and go up the wine, yeah. Girl, you fine, yeah. You move in time, yeah. The way you whine and you grind and you bubble and go down, yeah. Don't little bit, don't little bit, whine and go down, yeah. Don't little bit, don't little bit, whine and go down, yeah. Don't little bit, don't little bit, whine and go down, yeah. Don't look a bit, wine and go down there. I like the way you move, yeah. Round and round is the way you move your hips, yeah. You wine with attitude, yeah. Up and down, baby, wine and move your hips, yeah, yeah. Don't look a bit, wine and go down there. Don't look a bit, wine and go down there. Don't look a bit, wine and go down there. Don't look a bit, wine and go down there. Wine and go down there.
Them study weed, we don't study happy. I wrap up me and my shorty, yeah. So I could not give 2 ducks. Who want to play or hate me? I really don't care if you rate me. I give away all my dust lately. I'm doing it greatly. Living my life, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it, my wife, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. When I'm feeling the vibe, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's no time for bad mind, no way. Money on my mind, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Progress on my mind, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Success all the time, I say, yeah, yeah. So trust me, I could not give 2 ducks. Who want a man time me? I get it on bad in the party. I wrap up me and my shorty. I like it myself and I have it, yeah. So I could not give 2 ducks. Who want to play or hate me? I really don't care if you hate me. I give away all me dust lately. And I'm doing it greatly.
Yeah. Glow up. Show up. Glow up. Show up. Show up. Your body fine, girl, show up. You keep it right, girl, show up. Your body good, girl, show up. My girl, you good from the inside out, baby. From the inside out, oh baby, good from the inside out, baby. From the inside out, yeah. Don't worry about your ex-man next, girl. He no good, she no better, cause your best, girl. Life good, and to them years a threat, girl. They can't sleep, cause the wicked can't rest, yeah. Darling, you get 10 out of 10. Gorgeous and you confident. A real woman, she don't beg no friend. Kill them with style and class, so you know you got the angle. Kill them with the angle. Girl, you promise from head down to ankle. One man alone, that you got good standards. And you two up to handle. Yeah. Show up. Your body fine, girl, show up. You keep it right, girl, show up. Your body good, girl, show up. My girl, you good from the inside out, baby. From the inside out, oh baby, good from the inside out, baby. From the inside out.
Jamaica, this girl done it, Jamaica. Jeune femme, Jamaica. Moto de, hola, praise girl, pretty like magazine, magazine. This girl, pretty like magazine, magazine. This girl, pretty like magazine. Jeune femme, magazine. This girl, pretty like magazine, pretty like magazine. Take me dollars, baby. Take the Gucci and Fendi. $1 billion, baby. Take the Prada and Louis. You get everything you want. You get everything you want. $1 billion, what more do you want? Put you in magazine. This girl, pretty like magazine. Magazine. This girl, pretty like magazine. Magazine. This girl, pretty like magazine. Jeune femme, magazine. This girl, pretty like magazine. Pretty like magazine. You don't need no makeup. You look very pretty. Simple and natural. Caribbean beauty. Tout ça hand, tout ça oublie. Oui, tout ça oublie. $1 billion, what more do you want? Call the Uber now. I am coming to ya. Now. Call the Uber. Call the Uber now. I am coming to ya. Now. Uber everywhere. Take the Uber everywhere. Uber everywhere. Take the Uber everywhere. Uber everywhere. Take the Uber everywhere. Uber everywhere. Take the taxi everywhere. Call me number. Tell me come over when you need a lover. To pull up the Kulona. What's your location? Send me that location. WhatsApp that location.
No one other than you at all. There is no one could ever call you a fraud because you're other than them. You are the best overall. You're better than them. You are the best by far. Hey. Yeah. You catch me flirting with an next girl, baby, me sorry. Yeah. Don't try to mash up the thing we have, baby, no way. Yeah. Plus you work hard for your things, so nobody can say you owe them. Yeah. Hey. Overall. Hey. Girl, you have me weak to my knees, all my friends, family, everybody can tell you that. The Father bless me when me sneeze, cause you love me receive, and you know me must tell you flat. Hey, tell you, don't talk about when your clothes come off, lights off, and your world cut off. Hey, yeah, loving when you're posing off, tell you know me want show you off. But there's no one better than you at all. There is no one could ever call you a fraud, because you're better than them. You are the best overall. You're better than them. You are the best overall. Your man say he don't like me. I don't like that you don't call you. He make your fun follow me on IG. Motherfucker, unfollow them. No, but I still think about the nightly. I think about what it might be like if we link up. I know you have someone. I know, but I still wanna keep it in and keep it a secret. I know you have somebody, but I still wanna link up and keep it in touch. Let me take this. Let me take this. Let me take a piece of the thing that let me make you feel sweet. Let me take this. Say, okay. I want you to think about it. Think about it, girl. I want you to think about it. I think about it, girl. When you're winding up and over, and you push back up the thing, oh girl. I want you to think about it. Think about it, girl. Your man say he don't like me. I don't like that you just call me. He make your fun follow me on IG. Motherfucker, unfollow them. No, but I still think about the nightly. I think about what it might be like if we link up. I know you have someone. I know, but I still wanna keep it in and keep it a secret. I know you have somebody, but I still wanna link up and keep it in touch. Let me take this. Come, let me take this. Let me take a piece of the thing that let me make you feel sweet. Let me take this. Say, okay. I want you to think about it. Think about it, girl. I want you to think about it. I think about it, girl. When you're winding up and over, and you push back up the thing, oh girl. I want you to think about it. Think about it, girl. I wanna explore every piece of you. Give you every inch of this love, cause I'm into you. You catch it. Deep down in your soul, I hope I don't enjoy you. I'm just saying, your friend them tell you don't talk to me, but remember me, so we love talk to you. I know you have someone. I know, but I still wanna keep it in and keep it a secret. That's right. I know you have somebody, but I still wanna link up and keep it in touch. Let me take this. Come, let me take this. Take this, oh baby. Let me make you feel sweet. Let me take this. Say, okay. I want you to think about it. Think about it, girl. I want you to think about it. I think about it, girl. When you're winding up and over, and you push back on the thing, oh girl. I want you to think about it. Think about it.
We are the trending station. We are the trending station.
Me say action movie, you don't know it go. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom 1069.
Now big up SPG, the natural place to be. This is the Road Boy Kurt along with the original ABC. Now come down and sing about the country.
SPG, my homeland. You gave me no mansion, no gold, no diamond. Yet I love you a million. All the things that you have to offer is more than my heart's desire. Lovely beach, tropical breeze, always there, within my reach. I love you, SPG. My sweet little nation, SPG. I love you, SPG. Home of the blessed SPG. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. I love you. Can look at the sunrise, can look at the sunset. Sweet Mother Nature, such beauty, such splendor. Can live my life without fear. Freedom to go anywhere. You got love and you got peace. From La Soufrière to the Grenadines. I love you, SPG. My sweet little nation, SPG. I love you, SPG. Home of the blessed SPG. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. I love you.
God bless, and visit on the Grenadines, God bless with SPG. SPG is a nation in the Caribbean. A full time now, no name to mention. You are so beautiful, use one in a million. So many lovely beaches with the white sea sand. The golden sunlight that give life to the plants. The fresh air that blow from the sea to the land. The volcano is there for a reason. Jaja put it if you when things start go wrong. The lovely Grenadines, a chain of islands, so much beautiful scenes that attract everyone.
Calypso and reggae, look here. To Dingole, bamboo melody, and in harmony. Night morning, Christmas and Carnival. You got so much bacchanal. Wailing time is any time, and any time is wailing time. I love you, SPG. The sweet little nation, SPG. I love you, SPG. The high road, SPG.
Boom 1069.
Yes, I like that. You should do that all month long, you know. Play some, have a little segment with some patriotic music there. That was nice, Shady. We gotta let you know about KCCU's National Dance Fest. It's back this Saturday, the 8th of October, for one final dance under the theme Together We Can. This Saturday, KCCU brings the curtains to a close as all the gold medalists hit the stage one more time. Come and see who's going to be a judge, best dance group, best duo, and best soloist for this year's KCCU National Dance Festival. Same time, 7 p.m., same place, Russell's Auditorium, but a different vibe. Come with your friends and family. This is an event you don't want to miss. Get your tickets now. Tickets are on sale at KCCU Kingstown on Granby Street. You can call to place your order at 457-2409. $15 for children and $20 for adults. And there are sweet deals available at Quartz on stoves, mattresses, chair sets, and accessories with savings of up to 60% on selected products. Plus, visit their store to view their new arrivals, including the Nintendo PS5 and the Craftsman Power Tool range. No money, no problem. Just ask about their flexible credit payment packages. Quartz is bringing value home. All right, we've got a voice note here. Let me play it.
Yeah, Mr. Boom. If I'm not Chelsea, they will say the wrong tongue. Simona and Pringle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a caller. Good morning, you're live.
Yeah, let's bring it out.
Yeah, good morning. Hello?
Hey, good morning.
This is Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
Deja vu or they've called before? Oh, okay.
I want to put a question. I know Pastor Richards is coming up. He's a guy that I admire, coming on public radio and trying to address a lot of issues of national interest. I appreciate that. Dave Roberts, I'm saying I appreciate that. But I wonder, for the good of the country, if someone like him, he must have done economics and all of that. I don't know all of his credentials, but I hope he's listening because I'd like to put him, he speaks and he speaks openly. And I am thinking that someone like him, if he has a valuable contribution in all what he expresses on the radio in terms of our politics, I am wondering if he can be borrowed by or asked by government to prepare some kind of white paper, because we are a country of, scarce resources, even human resources, and we need the best of our people. And I'm just saying, because of the way he articulates and so on, if he can make a difference, if asked by government to come up with some plan, because we only seem to be spinning top in mud. I would like to see more involved in terms of making this country a better place to live in. Thank you, Pastor Richards. Hope you answer my question.
Thanks, man.
All right. We do have some comments here on the live. Let's go through some of them. Somebody says they endorse Fernando for North Leeward. Throw your hat in the ring.
Stop playing, man.
You see shady face always trying to defend these corrupt people.
He loved it. He loved it.
We'll see.
Tell us if any supervisors of elections in SVG for the past couple of elections are independent of the ULP. All right. Best Fernando do it now. We'll do a barbecue up here for him.
What? Wait, Tabata Daniel, you hearing me right? Is it up
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Yeah, I think there were a number of person who was saying that the barbecue that was supposed to take place for
Well, that's not, bro.
No,
Move on.
no,
We
I'm
cannot
saying
answer that. That is somebody who paid to advertise here. We cannot comment. We don't know.
Well,
We are paid to advertise it.
well, I guess we should say
Full
we
stop.
didn't.
We can't help.
Yeah. No,
Okay?
I was just highlighting
Yeah, but
that in any
just-
case.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, with regards to the election now, right? I honestly think there's a need for like bipartisan support for like a bill, like a comprehensive bill now.
A bill. Good morning,
Yeah,
you're live.
yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
my sister. I just want to clarify something before you go
Yeah,
in,
that's
before you end this
right.
program. And we've been saying it for the longest while, and I just want to say, Jomo said it is not true. People are not going to the trying to go to the Privy Council because they love England or they love why the main reason. This is why you see Grenada, Antigua, St. Vincent, and we will do it again. We don't trust the CCJ. And I'm saying is that, Mr. Jomo, you're not understanding those countries that you see are joining. They are joining because some law. Guns are threatened in 2018. After the people spoke that he was going to pass a law, we could go to, why are we, my sister, I do not trust Adrian Son. I do not trust these local people here. And that is why we are holding on to the Privy Council, because we know we could get justice there. And until the people in the Caribbean, the politicians start to come clean, I don't think that, ever. God bless England. I don't care what they tell me. I love England because, trust me, they help us. They help that nation. So much countries and so on. You see them literally hurricane blow them down. All we do, we have believed our own people treating us, oppressing us like dogs, and we have a judicial structure here right now. I call the great Cutler. We don't trust these local people. We don't trust these regional judges. And I'm saying that is why we hold on to England. And we have to get that right, Jomo.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah, Daniel. You see
All right, more comments here. I
was just making this point though, that I think there is a need for and some pastors might not agree at this moment, but even going forward, let's look at it going forward then, if you don't think it could happen now. But I think going forward there's a need for like a bipartisan support and a reform, a comprehensive reform of our election law. and
Under which administration?
well, this is what I'm saying going forward. And no, on a serious note, that is what we need. I think that will close some of the loopholes. You know what I mean, and make the playing field even more level. But also increasing penalty for those who are guilty of breaching election laws. You know what I mean? After all, the election is the most important sign of democracy in our country. So I think if some person might say it wouldn't happen now, but I am optimistic. I like to be optimistic. You know, it might not happen now. We might have to look after what this administration, whether it's after
So you're
this
saying
prime
that can't
minister.
happen under this administration?
Well,
you don't think it's possible?
No, I think so. Okay,
under
no,
which
I am not saying that because other persons would have their opinion on it. You know, if it can happen now under this administration, but at least if they're listening, and if we could find some solution, because every year we're hearing cheating, every election we're hearing cheating, corruption, this and that. So if we could just do some reform and something that both parties could agree on, because Daniel, until we had these kind of bipartisan support for things, we ain't going nowhere. Because the next party going to come, they're going to take advantage of the same process. And I think they're only looking at it from a perspective of them being in power. If you look at it from when you come out of opposition, you would want it. You would want it. And I think that's something that even the opposition should be pushing for. Push for this.
I don't know that the opposition pushing for things results too much.
I don't think so either. And even when you hear when you hear Leacock talking about, oh, he don't think the prime minister could risk calling all election. Why, if things are so bad on the ground, why can't the NDP force all election?
Force
all election.
Force is how they're gonna force the
But
election.
this is what I'm saying. They have to be proactive. You have a number of issues on the ground that people are very concerned about. Why you don't take advantage of them?
Right, but I'm asking, how do they go about forcing? an
Well,
election?
in unity with the population, the masses.
But you still ain't giving me like an idea of how they can force the election,
There are a number of ways. Protest action is one way.
bro.
But-
Like,
so
wait,
much-
you
so
want
much
them go
union
back there
trying
to
to
protest?
No, but that's what else you could how else you could see it happening?
Well, that's
mass
what I'm asking,
protest.
because you feel like that's
You
a
know,
good idea.
I am not advocating mass protest, but I'm just telling you
that
from
they were having, right?
Yeah.
They were going down. They had a sizable amount.
they had a
of people and
sizable
whatever.
amount of people, but
Why
now
the protest them stop?
because I think they were saying violence was part of the issue that they stop it, and there were laws that were put in place. But when you have
How you want them continue
Daniel,
to
when you have
protest?
mass protests, if the NDP is
Well,
strategic,
okay, well, the fact that the protest
the
aren't
ULP
being
use it.
mass protest,
The
that
ULP
should say something then.
the ULP used the strategy to get into office.
But is the NDP
But
getting
that is
anywhere with that
the
strategy?
point. They're not proactive enough.
But they did protest. But what I'm saying
but
is,
how-
them protesting, is it effective?
It's not
would you consider it
effective.
a mass protest what NDP has had?
No.
Why? Because the numbers not there.
The numbers are
So
not
how
there.
they going to go and force an election and they don't even have people
They
in
are,
numbers to come
but
and
this
protest?
is the problem. That is the problem. That is what they need to look at and see how they could bring out people, because there are how much people crying now.
All right. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning. Well, Fernando
Hey.
has done it. He has gotten me to call. You know? Because I've been so busy lately and so on that I don't even have time to listen to the radio.
That's all right.
You
But
know?
go ahead and make your contribution, Marlon, because the time.
I agree with him. I agree with Fernando 100%.
Yeah.
You know, he's spot on.
Yeah.
You know, if conditions are as bad as they are on the ground, then the NDP shouldn't wait
Exactly.
for government to
Call
call.
election.
Use creative means, you know, and agitate and try to get early elections. You know, take a leaf from, take a whole book from how
Yeah.
Gonzalez did it
Yeah.
back then. But even more importantly, apart from conditions being bad on the ground, according to those of you up to intentions, the NDP is actually the government that the people voted for. You know, the NDP, as a matter of fact, got
But we're not
most
using
of
that
the
system.
vote. The point is that
Yeah.
when it boils down to it, is that the the most essential, the most fundamental pillar of democracy is governance by the majority. And the majority of Vincentians do not want Gonzales, do not want the ULP to lead them. The majority, meaning more than less Vincentians.
And that is based on the result of the last election.
That's it. So that is, you don't need more ammunition than that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need more ammunition than that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Vincentians have said, look, we don't want you. We're not happy with how you've led us in the past 5 years. We prefer the NDP, we prefer Dr. Friday.
Yeah.
Were it not for a kink in the NDP would be in power today, would be in government today, and Vincentians would be benefiting from 13% VAT instead of 16% VAT. And there'll be no VAT on electricity and so on and so forth, and a whole host of other measures.
Yeah.
By now, Vincentians might have had the development bank, the new development bank. You know, fishers won't have in this issue that they have in. Farmers would have buoyant banana fields.
Yeah.
You know, because that was part of the agenda.
That's true.
You know, the new hospital might have been under construction already.
Yeah.
You know, so the whole host of different things. But the point is that it's the people, and we ought not to forget that.
Right. No, but Mal. No, I was saying, because I see a lot of people are saying, yes, the people, and I understand the people themselves have to take it upon themselves to, you know, come out and show the interest. But if we have to be honest, we're not gonna see people come out like that. Somebody say, so is the NDP who has
say that the NDP
has to capitalize.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, be more creative and so on.
Yes.
Be more forceful. Be more adamant.
Yes.
You know, be more confident.
But if they can't do that, how are they going to run the country? If they can't even do that. I just asking a general question. No.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
You say where they ran it. For 20 years. You understand? You say where they ran it for 20 years previously. And let me tell you something. I was a young man behind the ULP, even before Gonzales became leader of the party, when he was deputy leader. And we went all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I appeared on TV, I went on the rostrum and so on. And I was a teacher and then a lecturer at the community college. And among us, the young people who were part of the ULP were an engineer, people in agriculture at the highest level, lawyer, teachers, and so on. And we displayed our colors.
Yeah.
And among us, none of us ever thought or ever shared the view that we felt we would be punished by the NDP because of our involvement or public involvement in the ULP. And as a matter of fact, none of us was ever transferred or was ever penalized in any way. You know, and we were all over the place.
All right,
in our realm. So the point is, things have changed.
Yeah.
I could talk from back then and from now.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your contribution, Marlon.
Thanks for bringing me out this morning.
It's good.
Interesting. But you know, I agree. NDP falls, my opinion is that they fall short in a lot of areas. And it's a part of that is getting people to move, mobilizing people,
Right.
getting people to
That
get
is the
up.
point, yes.
But you're making the point that so much are happening and people balling out.
Yeah.
But if the people balling out so hard and they can't find it without themselves
Would it
on
be-
their
would it
own,
be like
without
Haiti?
NDP to come and like be like, hey,
Will
you
it be
can't
like
take
Haiti
this.
right now?
Then what they could really do? Like let's be honest. If you suffering so much
Yeah.
and it hard for you and you ain't saying nothing, you ain't willing to come and whatever. And also keep in mind, I think it is a big strategy.
Mm-hmm.
It is a big strategy to paint the NDP as the crazies, the people who don't have no control. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
And when they had the protests going on, that's exactly the strategy that was used. That
Yeah.
look at them, they're violent. They don't have no decorum. They this, they that. So what they gonna really do? They're beaten in every angle
That's
because
the NDP?
because the prime minister is a political genius.
So
the man
NDP is-
just beat them at their own game every single time. Like he does it. I'm telling you, because that's how I see it. They go to
because-
protest. They're looking like they getting some leverage.
Yeah, they're
They
gaining some
violent.
traction.
They this. The man end up with his head bust. Like it. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know how that ended up happening, but it worked. It was unfortunate that it happened to him, but it worked in his favor because then it became the reckless and the this and the damaging people and.
Well, Winston, how they could be victimized if the government change? If everybody come out and protest, who the government gonna victimize?
Well, you see, and
You know,
that
boy,
is,
it's
yes, it is. But boy, NDP is the party looking to go into power. Eh? So if you look at it from that standpoint, how are they capitalizing on all these, things that are happening? And I am saying, I'm not saying that the people themselves are not responsible for some of what they're going through or not coming out and being forceful enough or demand more. There is a need for that as well. But I think if you look at it from the NDP's perspective in the sense that they're the party looking to get into power, and they should be looking at ways and means of capitalizing on all these.
But my thing
issues
is something as intense as people took the vaccine mandates, man. You realize how adamant people were that they were absolutely not going to do this, that they did not want to do it. Did you see how that turned out?
Which one?
The vaccine mandates.
Uh-huh.
Just as an example.
Right. Look at that.
And look at the end result.
You understand?
Look at the end result. We saw so many other places all over the globe where people
So
people
maybe
were out there, and we kind of just
stayed back.
and just go take
We
the
stayed
job.
back. There are persons who are forceful, those who stayed back. And I am sure those who stayed back regret now. I probably could get them now.
I don't know, but it's what a sticky situation.
It is a
and
sticky
interesting that you think that. But is it that you think that they can force an election, or is it that you just think that they should be able to do it?
Who the
NDP?
The NDP?
Because you said that they should. So
I think
clarifying.
I think they should look at that rather than saying, the PM can't risk calling election now. They should look at see how they could get the PM to call election.
All right, this is our final caller. Good morning.
Yes.
I'm just the final. I love that point
Dave,
you're bringing
real
out
shot,
there.
'cause you called
I
like 4
love the point
times.
you're bringing out there. NDP is certainly lacking that one with that kill. 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 Politically speaking, I agree with you, Daniel, and something is missing. There's a missing link there. Because don't tell me one man can have all this control over people, unless it's obvious, black magic, And I know what Jerry did in Grenada. I saw some of Jerry things. I mean, Shelton and all of that. So I agree. Something is missing, and we got to find it very quick, very soon.
All right, thank you, Dave. Have a good one. All right, unfortunately, we got to take a commercial break, and that is going to take us into our next segment with Dr. Richard. Stick around.
September is Credit Repair Month at GECO. We are improving access to credit for all members with great loan offers this September. We're easing loan requirements and offering different bundles to get you back on track. Manage these difficult times with loan bundles to fit your needs. Seamless access to loans, lower rates, and greater flexibility. Come in and speak to our loans officers today, and we will find affordable ways to repair your credit. Gecko's Credit Repair Month, improving access to credit for our members. Gecko terms and conditions apply.
Big People Events presents October Raga Soca Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion. Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shanique at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Raga Soca Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
2022 iCode 784 competition is here. Dream.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentions that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus, for supreme care and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the line. Easy wins with love.
Get the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash. Data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love.
Low terms and conditions apply.
What's all you want? Top up $15 or more. Activate the Choose 7 or 30-day combo plan. Pay up your bill. Bundle now and get a smartphone.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love. Easy wins.
Get the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash. Data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love.
Low terms and conditions apply.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family fun days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Process. Special rate for women entrepreneurs.
Big People Events presents October Raga Soca Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion. Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shanique at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Raga Soca Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
It's by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
All right, we got Doc joining us right now. Good morning to you, Dr. Richards.
Hey, blessed morning to you, Daniel, Shady, Fernando. Good morning. Good morning, Sylvester and the Grandins.
Good morning.
Good morning, all. Just a couple of things. I have to say this. When I tuned in, I was actually in and out, and then I tuned out to do some things, and I tuned back in, and I heard one of your callers talking about some presentation or something. And listen, I was like, yeah, I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear that, until at the very end when he said, yeah, I hope Dr. Richards is listening. And I realized he's talking about me. I didn't know the guy that he was talking about at all. So, Dave, I didn't hear all that you said, but I heard the part about economic advice or something to that effect. I will be quite candid in telling you, Dave, and the rest of the nation, that's not my field. Okay, and so I just want to put that at rest, which is why I really don't comment that much on economic issues anymore. There was a time, when I was really hitting it out the park, top draw stuff, really in economics. I prepared a number of people who to this day work in Ministry of Finance. I was really some of the top guns who went on to do good stuff in economics got their start with me. There was a time I really had it together. But that's dated, and I considered it because I did not go on to specialize in that field when I went on for further studies. I chose different things. I consider what I know in economics to be dated. I tell you why, because there's been so many certain macro models, monetary models, fiscal ideas, fiscal policy, fiscal models. And these things are like 20, 30 years old. I have not refreshed myself since then. Quite a number of new models for managing economy. I'm not talking micro. Micro doesn't change much. But in terms of managing the economy through monetary adjustment, and there's been a lot happening on the monetary front. I think Prime Minister Gonsalves spoke about this at the United Nations. He's concerned about what some of these policies are doing to the small island development states. Fiscal policies too. I mean, tremendous amount of work and models have been developed. Doctoral studies have been done in these areas to come up with different policies that would shape and enhance and drive your fiscal policy and your economic growth. And these are things that I'm not au fait with. Totally. No, let me correct that. These are things that I am not au fait with at the extent to which I was firing on all cylinders back then. Dave, I have to admit, and I'd be frank enough to admit that I'm not where I used to be in economics. So if this nation wants to look for economic advice, there are other people way more capable than I am in economics. I off the top of my head, I can think of Dr. Robinson, a contemporary of mine, really good friend. We still communicate and stuff. I think he's an excellent gentleman over there at K-Vale in Barbados with his new promotion and all of that. But I think he's excellent. he has a good handle on economics and finance and other niche areas. Just recently, he was here in St. Vincent here, and he shared some really brilliant ideas and talked about our inflation here. He talked about the fact that and one of the things that stuck out to me when he spoke, I'm not going to go over his speech, but one of the things that stuck out to me when he spoke, he asserted that while we, the consumers, are complaining about inflation, and he itemized some of the prices and some of the commodities that are experiencing this more so than others. What really stuck out to me, one of the things that stuck out to me is that he said, with inflation, the government, I don't think he said the government is smiling, but the way he said it, the benefit, he talked about government coming into a windfall because of inflation. And I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of the fact that while the consumers are crying out for prices, that the government's coffers, were being swollen. Dr. Robinson said, he didn't use those words, but that's what he said. They're coming in for a windfall in terms of what they're getting from duties, significantly, because the higher the price of the item coming in, the higher the duty that the government is going to get. Car prices going up, commodity prices going up, and then when these things are being sold in the store, what the government is getting through direct taxation, value-added tax, etc., etc. The higher the price, the more government gets. That's what he was saying. And he is saying that the government is coming in for a significant windfall because of inflation. And he proposed that when the consumers like myself, like you, Daniel, like you, Fernando, when we are there crying out, fuel prices up and gas price up, bread price up and flour up, sugar up, he is saying that the government should wisely and prudently be utilizing this windfall to ease the burden. He didn't answer the question as to whether or not our government is actually doing that, but he suggested, he was very clear in analyzing and explaining to us, I attended that lecture, and explaining to us that governments are getting more than they would have gotten had there not been an inflation. Again, that's Dr. Robinson saying this. And he said that with this windfall, the burden of the consumer could be eased. So I scratched my mind, I'm like, how? He said, because you can do a lot of targeted using this windfall. So I'm there sitting and I'm thinking, he's onto something, yeah. But he's saying you could use this targeted windfall to do some targeted, his exact term was targeted interventions. And he said that you could target especially the vulnerable, because part of his thesis and part of his presentation was that this inflation, while it is national, and he gave the figures and he proved that there was inflation, he actually did a study and polled quite a number of people, that it does not have an equitable impact across. When I say equitable impact, it does not affect everyone in the same way. Middle income people, he said, for example, it would expose an impact on those who are seeking to buy cars and seeking to buy houses and their mortgage. But the kind of items that he called out, lunches and corned beef, eggs and ketchup and vegetable oil, and he went through a slew of items that he targeted and said, these are the things that have increased in price. And his point was that the poor, the lower income, these are the people who are most affected by the inflation. And what the government can do is that the government can use this windfall that they are coming in and do targeted intervention. He talked about not just salary increases across the board, but a way of tweaking the salary increases such that the more vulnerable people, the people in the lower income bracket, are the ones who would receive this increase. He also talked about minimum wage and how those people, especially how impossible it is, really how impossible in the current milieu scenario for them to maintain an adequate living with $800 a month, $900 a month. $300 of that going in transportation is going up now. You can't pay rent out of that. Okay? You can't buy food out of that. Even in the average household, a bag of groceries, $200. You buy a single bag of groceries every week. That's your $800. It's untenable and unsustainable. And his point was that the government can utilize this windfall to ease the inflation burden on Vincentians. So, Dave, there's a gentleman out there, Dr. Justin Robinson, who is quite articulate. He's very good. He's easy to listen to. It's really sharp, but he brings it across in a way that you can digest it. And I think if he's listening, which sometimes, he gets to check in, that he should be challenged to educate us in a non-partisan fashion on these matters. Interestingly, he was a guest of Luke Brown. So it was not a real partisan affair. He said these things which might make some feel uneasy about what the government is doing, but he said it, though he was a guest of Luke Brown. He said these things. So I think he's a good guy, non-partisan, and he's resided in Barbados, but he's a good guy that can be appealed to. Now, having addressed that and having laid that aside, you might ask Dave, you might ask me, and others might ask me, okay, so if you don't want to talk about economics and you are restricting what you say about government and politics, what are you really about? I have made clear over and over again, I'm about nation building. And my thesis, which I have made clear on this radio station, my thesis is that at the axis of nation building, let me back up a little bit. The three pillars, Dr. Gonzalez mentions 3 or 4. I, from time to time, would mention 3. That you need planks, if you will. If you see this as building a house. Now, hear me and hear me well. Please hear me well. To build a nation, let's use the word capital. You need economic capital. Dave, I get you. You need economic capital. You need social capital, and you need spiritual capital. For all of the infrastructure, for hospitals, for roads, for airport, for tourism, for wharves and all of that, you need the economic capital. I get that. But I posited, on occasions when I've spoken about this, I've posited that economic capital is actually the lesser of the 3 planks. It's not as important to me as social capital. And when I talk about social capital, I am talking about the people and the interrelationship and the working together, the networking, how we maintain community, how we maintain harmony. Quite a number of things involved in social capital. I can't go through all of this, but you can write the term down, you can look it up. Social capital is integral to the building of any nation. And I have spent most of my commentaries and most of my programs trying to enhance the social capital. There's a particular thesis, like I said, that drives this. I have actually said we are who we are, and it's all about the people. And if we can make the people better, we can make the nation better. I have chided, not necessarily chided, but I have cautioned, there's a better word, those who are trying to make government better, make politics better and all of that. I am saying, no, it's not about the government. It's not about the politician. It is about us. And I've used the term, we, the people. The fate of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and who we are and where we are projecting to go and all of that does not ride so much on our economic capital as it is driven by our social capital. We can change economics, balance of payment, income levels, all of that, all we want. And if we have not changed the people, how we relate to each other, how we build community, how we build harmony and all of that. Listen, what the Bible says about this is so clear. A nation divided against itself can't stand. We need that intertwining of that social capital. We need that bad. So if I'm to write a white paper, I would probably write it along the lines of how we can improve social capital. Much of my commentaries have been on that. And the other plank, I said economic capital, I said social capital. But the other plank there is spiritual capital, which I think is actually at the very core. And I won't say much on that because I've talked about that. In the absence of that spiritual nexus, in the absence of that spiritual core, everything you build around it is very fragile. So Dave, while economics loom really large in a lot of discussions and politics will loom really large in a lot of discussion, to me, those things are at the periphery of nation building. Social capital, and even closer to the core, spiritual capital. And those are the things that you will hear me talk about more, and you will hear me try to not only elucidate but drive and shape and fashion how we can change this country by changing the social capital and the spiritual capital. That's my contribution in response to Dave.
All right, Doc, we want to say thank you for joining us this morning. We're looking forward to hearing your take on things tomorrow as well.
Wow. Tomorrow, I thought tomorrow is Friday.
I would love it if tomorrow would be Friday, but I do believe it's Thursday.
Which means I've overworked Monday, Tuesday, and golly. All right. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. Have a good one. And that is also where we wrap up our show for today. We want to say thank you so much for participating, for giving us your perspective, your calls, your comments, everything. It was an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
It was an interesting
big
discussion.
up everybody who tuned in, man.
Of course.
Big up Angela Winston as usual. You know, those who are listening on the air,
yes,
not via the what,
and don't comment and say anything. But good morning to you, and thank you for listening. I'm sure when they meet us, they will, be like, you know, it happens.
And Bud, big up Bud to you.
Big up Bud, but big up you. All right, we hope that you have a good day. Remember, there's still an advisory out.
Yeah.
We know that there's a tropical wave currently affecting that's the last update that I saw on it. We will try to keep you posted on weather and whatever other important updates we receive tomorrow. Continue to lock it down with 106.9. Coming up next is the Shade Room.
All right, Bernadette, we're out.
September is Credit Repair Month at GECU. We are improving access to credit for all members with great loan offers this September. We're easing loan requirements and offering different bundles to get you back on track. Manage these difficult times with loan bundles to fit your needs. Seamless access to loans, lower rates, and greater flexibility. Come in and speak to our loans officers today, and we will find affordable ways to repair your credit. GECU's Credit Repair Month, improving access to credit for our members. GECU terms and conditions apply.
Protect the children. Yeah. Don't be afraid to speak out. Teach the kids their rights. Physical and sexual abuse must stop. Join me in this fight now. I want you to see suspect say among friends and families. See suspect say in the schools and communities. Children of the future, they depend on you. Report to the authorities, that's what you should do. You'll see these signs, do what's right, put a stop to child abuse. See, suspect, say! Among friends and families, a message from the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF.